to that meditative state for a little bit. So as you sit in the chair right now, if you feel comfortable, I want to ask you to close your eyes. I want you to plant your feet firmly on the floor. If you have your legs crossed, you go ahead and uncross them. I want you to think about feeling your body. By feeling your body, I want you to notice how the chair you're sitting on feels beneath you. Does it feel hard? Is there a cushion? Are your legs sticking to it like mine were? Do you feel the energy of the person sitting next to you? Maybe your thighs are brushing up against each other just a little bit. As you pay attention to the sensation you are embodying, I want to ask you some questions. How do you feel today? It's Friday, it's the end of the week. Is there heaviness in your body because you didn't get everything done? And it's just honestly disappointing. Or maybe you got in a workout this morning and the endorphins that are filling your body are giving you this natural high. You're doing great right now. Or maybe if you're like me, you're relieved because somebody else has your child right now. I want you to take a slow, deep breath and open your eyes. You see, our minds and our bodies are connected. The sensations in our bodies are directly correlated to our thought process. So now that you've given some thought to how you are feeling today, I want to ask you a question. Do you believe you are worthy? I want to ask you again. Do you believe that you are worthy? When I ask this question, if you were raised in a religious environment like myself, you may immediately think, well, of course I'm worthy because God made me worthy. But let me ask it again. Do you believe you are worthy? It was exactly 1 month before my 30th birthday and I went out on a blind date. His name was Jesse. Some of you know him. But we're not going to talk about our dating relationship right now. We're going to talk about how I felt in my body as I was dating Jesse. I want to share with you a perspective that I've carried with me for most of my life. You see, I have struggled with my weight from an early age. By struggling, I mean I was made aware of my eating and exercise habits by my mom and grandmother starting around the age of 12. My mom was never mean, and my grandmother was never harsh. But I remember being in middle school and being questioned about how I was eating and constantly being asked by my mom if I wanted to go on walks with her. My grandmother would call from out of state every few months and offer to pay for me to take exercise classes. And when you're a preteen, you're not going anywhere by yourself. But honestly, now, I would love for somebody to pay for yoga. I will take your money. So around 8th or 9th grade, I went on my first diet. And it was Slim Fast Shakes. And if you know about Slim Fast Shakes, like similar other diets, as long as you are doing Slim Fast Shakes, you lose weight. And I did lose 20 pounds, but I didn't do Slim Fast Shakes, so I gained it all back. I remember going on different diets. And my mom would encourage me. She just wanted what was best for me. I truly believe she did not have malicious intent. So I've lived with anxiety for most of my life. And an interesting thing about anxiety is that it does not choose the logical thing to be worried about. Growing up, my parents were ministers on college campuses, and our income came by monthly raised support, which for us meant the funds were always tight. When funds are tight, so is your grocery budget. We always had enough to eat, but we rarely had enough for seconds. And if we did have a meal that all of us liked, there were 5 of us, then there was definitely not enough for seconds. So I learned that when there was enough for seconds, it was a feeling of privilege. And it was not only a feeling of privilege for me as a child, it was a feeling of safety. Because if there was enough for seconds, then there was enough food, and then we were going to be okay. So I learned as a child that being okay and being safe was based around if we had enough money for food. Now, I didn't quite process it this way, everything in such a structured manner. But when I was younger, I grasped the concept that more was better. From about 2nd grade on, I was never the skinny child. The funny thing is that I didn't really notice. My anxiety would focus on how my hair looked, or that I had to get glasses in 5th grade, or I had this huge mole on my face until I was like 29. But it wasn't until my mom pointed out on multiple occasions that I didn't need that extra helping of food that I started to truly realize that I wasn't the right size. In high school, I had a death grip on the belief that it didn't matter what size I was because God created me to be married, and so there would be that guy who would love me just the way I was. For the next decade, my weight would yo-yo back and forth with this diet and that. I had great guy friends. They came to me with all their problems. We talked, we hung out, but not one of them ever wanted to have sex with me. But that was okay, because I was a good, fundamental, evangelical girl, and so having sex before marriage meant that I was committing the ultimate sin, so therefore I was sidestepping that issue. I moved to Nashville, Tennessee from Colorado to pursue a career in the Christian music industry after college. But honestly, I thought I was just gonna marry a musician and be like a spiritual mentor to other band wives, and yeah, that makes no sense. But I didn't get married. In fact, there wasn't a lot of dates either. So 3 years later, still no husband, which obviously means there was no dates. Over the next 15 to 18 months, I joined Weight Watchers. I lost 100 pounds. I went from a size 16, 18 to a size 6, 8, which for a person who is 5'9" like myself, you could see my hip bones. And people were asking if I was okay. But that's the wrong question. That's not what they should be asking. I want to know where the dates are, because I look damn good. They didn't come, those dates, until about a year later when I went on that blind date. Jesse and I started dating pretty much on my 30th birthday. I look back at pictures from my 30th birthday with fond memories now. But the 30-year-old me in those pictures, she was cringing inside as he put his arms around my waist. Did he feel my belly fat? That was what I was thinking. Sure, I've lost all this weight, but my skin still bulges over the top of my size 4 pants. See how my inner thighs touch? I can see now that it was anxiety in that moment. I was so focused on the imperfections that I literally could not feel the embrace and the warmth of this wonderful human being around me. I became fixated on how my body looked in clothes. As we continued to date, I got more and more comfortable verbalizing to Jesse how I always felt like my body was bulging and poking out in different outfits. My self-talk while losing and maintaining my weight went something like this. If you eat that, you're going to gain all your weight back. And if you gain your weight back, Jesse won't want you anymore. Or my personal favorite that I learned as a child growing up before I ever met Jesse was, when you get married, make sure after you have babies to lose all your weight so your husband will still be attracted to you. And if that isn't the beginning of patriarchy. You know the one thought, though, that I never had in my entire dieting journey? Not once. You're worthy, Rebecca. I never thought I can tell you that I was worthy because Jesus died on the cross and that made me worthy to God. But if I'm honest with myself, I'm not sure I truly believe that at my core. I wanted desperately to believe that. My family believed that. My community believed that. Everybody appeared so sure. But the energy around that thought in my body was non-existent. I felt cold. Over the next 10 years, I would go on a journey. I would go to counseling. I'd discover Brene Brown. I'd hate God. I'd let go of God. I'd face some of my biggest fears about what I not only believed spiritually, but what I believed about my body. You see, we have to embody our whole being. We need to realize we are one, not separate parts. Our spirit, our mind, our body, they are all interconnected and interdependent. I'm not currently at my ideal weight, but I like myself. I have more peace right now than I had ever had in my entire life. I'm 42. Do I need to work on my diet and exercise? Yes. Being healthy, it's important to take care of your bodies. I'm not saying we shouldn't. But I have known for the last 10 years that I could not start my journey to getting healthier again without slipping back into those yo-yo dieting patterns until I found peace with who I am and recognized my worthiness. Because if I cannot recognize my worthiness, I will not have the tools to traverse through the hurtful feelings and thoughts that are imprinted on my cognitive pathways. You see, the words and the sayings and thoughts I heard and told myself repeatedly for over 20 years of my life are deeply embedded in my thought process. So despite the fact that I have done a lot of personal growth work in the last 10 years, there is still 20 years of patterns that can and do randomly show up. If I do not know at the core of my being that I'm worthy, then for me, I'm going to default to negative self-talk, like I did yesterday. I don't believe that we wake up one day and know that we have achieved worthiness. I do believe it is a muscle that we must choose to exercise and move towards. Are you broken right now because you don't believe that you're worthy as you sit in this chair? No. How does one become worthy? How does one see that one is worthy? Brene Brown says in her book, The Gifts of Imperfection, worthiness does not have prerequisites. So if you are sitting in this room, if you are breathing air, you're worthy. Now that worthiness may be buried deep down by shame, by abuse, by grief, by hate. But I promise you, it exists. No matter what anybody has told you in your life, I want you to learn that you are worthy. And to do that, you have to focus on that. And that takes time. But I truly believe that when we find our worthiness, that the possibilities for our lives are endless, that God will come to see as you realize you're worthy is the God whose only agenda is love. Rachel Held Evans embodied worthiness. She was an author and speaker and a person I would consider the matriarch of the progressive Christian movement. She passed away last week, all too soon. Not everything she did was perfect, but her focus was to tell the truth. If we are willing to tell the truth to ourselves, we have to acknowledge that we